Mi A2. Thank you once more for your time, and I'd like to invite Donovan Song to the stage to tell you more about this remarkable product. Donovan. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Xiao. My name is Donovan, and I'm the Director of Product Management and Marketing for the Xiaomi Global team. So welcome everyone today to Madrid. Thank you to our media partners, thank you to our business partners, and thank you, of course, to our Mi fans. So I'm very excited today to be here to talk about two new exciting phones that we're launching in conjunction with Google. Let's dive right in with the design of Mi A2. We have a super cool product video, so let's check it out. So that video gets me pretty pumped every time I see it. Let's point out some of the details that you may have seen during the video. So first of all, Mi A2 has a premium, beautiful aluminum unibody design with really discreet antenna lines. We've also implemented a really sleek arc design so it looks good and it feels good in your hand. And one thing that was really important to Mi fans in all of our surveys and discussions was USB Type-C. So we've made sure to include it in Mi A2 with a completely symmetrical design. And to make sure that it can withstand life's accidents, we've paired the aluminum body with 2.5D Corning Gorilla Glass. So Mi A2, it's not just beautiful, but it's also very durable. And the body thickness measures in at just 7.3 millimeters. And if you compare this to some other popular phones in this segment, you can see that some other phones might be as thick as 8.4 millimeters. And we know some people really want their phone to reflect their own personal style. And that's why today we're launching 3 different colors of Mi A2. Gold, blue, and black. Everyone can take as many pictures as you want. We have a lot of very cool product photos here. Do them one by one. It's the black color. Incredibly sleek. And a vibrant and luxurious gold. It's absolutely beautiful. Especially with the wallpaper, straight from Google. And the very youthful, very creative lake blue also fits really well with the wallpaper. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite bit, the AI dual camera. Now, Mi A1 had a picture-perfect dual camera. And we're taking that dual camera to the next level today with the Mi A2. We've used a sensor from one of the industry-leading manufacturers, Sony. So the primary sensor here is a 12-megapixel Sony IMX486 sensor with very large 1.25 micron pixels, and you'll see a very large aperture as well, f1.75, which we'll talk about in more detail soon. And the secondary sensor is a 20-megapixel Sony IMX376 sensor, also with very large pixels. So one thing we've realized in all of our years of research and development is that aperture and pixel size are incredibly important when taking a photo. And when you combine both of these, you get bright, vivid, clear photos. And that's why on Mi A2, we've packaged both of the sensors with a large f1.75 aperture. So what does this do? Let's talk about it. So when you talk about the aperture, a smaller number is actually better because it means that the aperture is larger. And compared to typical smartphones, Mi A2 features a much larger aperture for both of the primary sensors. So this contributes not only to the brightness, but also the clarity and vividness of the colors. And you can take a look directly here. Here we've compared Mi A2 directly to some other phones in this segment. They're both good photos. But if you look carefully at the Mi A2 shot on the right, you can see that it features a much wider range of colors and light sensitivity on the face, on the crown of the hair, on the shirt, and it's because it's much more sensitive to light. Zoom in here. If you zoom in, you see a big contrast in the color palette. And Mi A2 is really good at capturing some of the subtle differences in lighting and varying facial tones. Wow, right? Yeah. The next important element, as we said earlier, is the pixel size. And Mi A2 comes with a large 1.25 micron pixel on the primary sensor. And if you compare this to typical smartphones with 1.0 micron pixels, you can see that 1.25 microns allow for much more light to come in, meaning clearer and brighter photos. So let's directly do a shot comparison here. If you look here, you can see a huge variation in how the light is processed between Mi A2 and some other cameras with smaller pixels. For example, you can see the lighting here in the neon part here. It's all more pretty uniform, but you can still see the shades of pink and red and deep varied purples on the right side here with Mi A2. And if you zoom in, it's even more obvious. You can immediately see the color really pop. So pixel size, we know, is really important. So on the secondary sensor, 20-megapixel secondary sensor, we went even further, and we've included a technology called pixel binning, which we call superpixel. Here's how it works. On the left is the original pixel layout. We take the 20 million pixels and we group them into groups of 4. So this greatly enhances the amount of light processed per pixel, resulting in a much brighter photo. You can turn this feature on very easily. You just hit this thing on the bottom right, manual mode, click, and here it goes, allowing you to make the most of any lighting condition. And if you compare how our picture-perfect 20-megapixel cameras compare here to some other phones in the market, you can see that we've really put in a lot of effort. Primary sensor, pixel size of 1.25 microns versus 1.2 microns. So this other phone doesn't even have a secondary sensor, whereas we have a 20-megapixel secondary sensor with 2 micron 4-in-1 superpixels, creating a much more powerful photography experience. And where this has the biggest impact is probably on low light. Let me just zoom in here. If you compare the left and the right here, you can see how much detail is lost when the pixel size is too small. Software can somewhat compensate for it, but you can see it's not too clear. Some of the lights are very washed out, The blacks are very artificial. Whereas in the Mi A2 here,